Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei, because today we have an interesting topic to talk about. It's actually one of you guys' ideas that I think is interesting, and I want to talk about it. But, before we get into that, two things I need to plug, okay? First, today, Among Us lobby again at 7 p.m. GMT. It's 5 up, so it's 11 a.m. PST. I think that's 2 p.m. EST. I'm not sure though. But Among Us on Twitch, go watch. Okay. And then next plug is a YouTube video. Main channel is going up today. It might be up already by the time that this video is up. So go check that out. Main channel is also linked on this channel. So go watch that. Either way, today, the topic at hand is Minecraft eSports. I've been tasked by Erix to come up with an idea. It's a little bit down here. To come up with, or to make a video talking about an idea of an esports event in Minecraft which focused on more on pure Minecraft mechanical skill and the best of the best instead of entertainment. So, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I actually have an idea for how you could approach that. And I think, you know, I mean, I'm not going to do it because I've already got blockers and I don't know who would do it. But I think it's worth exploring, at least part of the idea I have. Either way, to loop back to this page, you might be confused. Why are you looking at MCSR Ranked? Well, right now, the state of Minecraft esports is this. This is Minecraft esports right now, and I think it's fantastic. I think this is a really good adaptation of how you can do like skill-based Minecraft with a fair playing field, and it's like proper esports, like in terms of comparing it to other like esports things like CSGO, for example. The thing there is you have an online, you know, gameplay thing where everyone is on an equal playing field for the most part, obviously map dependency, etc., whatever. And they've managed to make a multiplayer Minecraft competitive experience with an equal playing field where there's obviously some randomness to it, which is like mob drops, etc. But it's pretty much as close as you could get to a fair esports situation. Also, if you haven't watched MCSR Ranked, I don't know when it's coming back. I will probably try to make an announcement about it if I remember to, but you should check out RecRap1. He usually talks about it on that channel. Parkour is also usually involved with this, and people like Curryway, Fulham, etc., Feinberg, like they're all, and Nerdy, I think also are all like involved. Either way, we will talk about this in a little bit as well. But yeah, this post has inspired me to make an idea, and I will showcase the entire idea right now, and I'll just talk about it. This is the idea. It's very simple. I wanted to take some notes, or I took some notes yesterday when I came up with the idea. I already talked about this. Minecraft esports right now already kind of exists. It's not officially acknowledged, and I don't think Mojang will, or maybe they probably not, but I hope they do. But it's already, you know, there, so I can delete that. So I came up with a custom esports minigames event idea, which would be like competitive, like try hard based and not like entertainment based, even though it would be entertaining to watch. And I chose minigames because there's different things in Minecraft that are mechanical and that you can test to see who's the best of the best. Two things that are not included that people will always argue in, like, oh, best Minecraft player you must consider is building and redstone. It's really hard to test that, okay? Because that's like puzzle solving, so I guess you could technically incorporate that, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, a custom esports minigames event idea would be a test of different mechanical Minecraft skills, so PvP, parkour, movement, etc. And every game would probably last around 20 minutes, which is different from current minigame events, because usually you would go for like a 10 to 12-ish minute game, maybe 15 if it's really extensive, maybe a little under 10 if it's super simple. But it's usually around like 10 to 12 minutes per game for a Minecraft minigames event, or a Minecraft minigames event game. And this one would be pretty much double that, right? 20 minutes, you get a lot more room to work with to be a bit more in-depth. And certain games like Speedrunning, for example, very much benefit from having a little bit of extra time. Or even like MCSR Ranked also, you need that extra time to be able to like play around with like different skill levels and still make it so, like, you know, you don't need to be like the absolute best speedrunner to be able to compete. Either way, The ideas I came up with, and this, I don't know how many games you'd want to include here. I think 6 would probably be fine. You could even do one of each. I think there's different qualities and testing with different games that you could value in terms of this needs to be in, this doesn't need to be in. But the games I came up with, or selected at least, for an esports type event idea would be, first of all, PvP. Mineplex Gladiator, I think it's Gladiators. Mineplex Gladiators. Now, for some of you who maybe are somewhat like younger and may not have played Mineplex much or at all, Mineplex Gladiators is something I used to play a decent amount. I think the first video on my main channel is a Gladiators video, or at least I did make a Gladiators like highlights video. It might not be the first. It probably isn't the first video on this channel, but I know that I used to make Mineplex Gladiators content. Here is the tab that I pulled up. This might be nostalgic for some of you, maybe not, but Gladiators was essentially like a Duels bracket in Minecraft. And this was like 1.8 like era, so like this was all spam clicking. But the way it worked was there was, I think, 8 or 16 people who played in a game like this. First round, you'd have like 1v1s, and the winner has like the door to the left in this image. You can't see my cursor, but the door to the left in this image, the big one, would open once the fight ends, and then they go on to a next room, and then you fight again with 8 people remaining, and then the 4 winners from that fight again with 2 people remaining, and then the finale fight. Like, it was so cool. And this is like a proper test of like Minecraft mechanical PvP skill. It's just a 1v1 setting. It's essentially duels, but I think that could work. Second is Speedrunning, which is from Hypixel. Some of you may not have experienced this before. Maybe you haven't played. Maybe you have. But Speedrunning is Yahtzee, but the like gathering area, or the gathering aspect of the game is shortened down a lot, and the PvP arena is a lot smaller. I think it's not like deathmatch size, but it's slightly larger if I remember correctly. But this tests like a skill of also like mining and like efficiently building your gear, which I think Yahtzee is very valuable for. And Speedrunning also doesn't have the RNG element of Yahtzee, where you can randomly find a diamond like from a chest or something. Like, you'd have the same starting island or starting base. It's like this gray structure on the right in the big image behind the scoreboard. Below there was like a cave. And yeah, this is also super sick. I think this would work super well for like a Yahtzee, or sorry, for an esports PvP type game. And I also wrote down Duels, which is essentially Gladiators, but this would be like I guess this would just be a duel, because it would be the final 2 people. If you'd want to do like a final 2 showdown thing, you could do the final 2 people have like a Yahtzee duel, where it's just full diamond with a diamond sword and maybe some utility, or maybe even no utility, depending on how you want to approach it. And that reminds me of like the old Yahtzee clips where it was like Ex Nestorio versus like Huawei or whatever the freaking duels were, right? The like legendary final duels. And I think yeah, that would be like a fantastic finale if you do a finale in this event. Next up, parkour. Parkour and movement are separated because parkour is like the bulk of movement, like in terms of what people like are good at in terms of movement. And I think it's worth making it its own separate thing. I think a course similar to like OG Parkour Warrior would be good, where there's no gimmicks, like there's no like blinking blocks, moving blocks, whatever. It's just straight up parkour, different types of jumps that test like different techniques with parkour without being like super gimmicky, like a freaking butterfly Neo or something like that, right? Like, you could implement that, but that might be a little bit much. So I think that could work really well as well. Next up, movement. I think testing different movement types like elytra and tridents and obstacles, etc. would be really good. And I think something like original Blockware's Move, but solo, is actually a good way to do it. It would probably be like only 3 rounds, because I don't think parkour or dropper should be. I mean, parkour would already be covered here. If parkour isn't in its own separate thing, then parkour could be in the Blockware's Move type idea. Dropper I don't think is necessary to implement, but you could, I guess. It's just pathfinding. So I don't know, but I think something like Blockers Move, where you test the Elytra skills, you test the Trident skills, you test the obstacles skills, I think is fantastic. I think that would work really well for an esports setting. Next up, speedrunning, MCSR Ranked. I think MCSR Ranked genuinely is like the best way to do a speedrun, like show off or showdown between multiple people or just 2 people. I just don't think you would want to change that. If everyone has the same seed, you would just like do it based on who finishes first, rather than like, oh, if someone finishes, nobody else gets to play anymore. And you would assume that people could finish it in 20 minutes, or you would give them a seed where it's very doable to finish it in 20 minutes if you are at least somewhat experienced in speedrunning Minecraft. Next up, I included the PvE. Now, this one might be argued to not be important to implement, because you kind of cover it with speedrunning to an extent, right? It's like not super in-depth, but I think it could be interesting, potentially, if you want to bulk up the amount of games, to do a boss rush PvE type game mode. If you don't know what boss rush is, it's like a common type of game, I guess. Usually it's within a game as like the final test or something. Something that comes to mind for me is Kirby. There was like a boss rush in Kirby where you would fight like a bunch of mini bosses in a row, and then an actual proper boss every now and then. And the way I would envision this working in Minecraft is you would be challenged to fight different types of mobs in a room, and it's kind of like maybe Gladiator style, where you have to complete that room, then you go to the next one, and then etc, etc. Maybe you get like some resources to heal yourself, but it's very limited, so you have to like strategically use that. But yeah, I think boss rush could work. It might be a little bit much depending on how many games you want to include, especially if every game is roughly 20 minutes, but I don't think it would necessarily have to be 20 minutes, depending on to what extent and how in-depth you want to test the people's skills. And then finally, I wrote down puzzle, because I think there's niche skills in Minecraft, knowledge-based or not, that I think could be worth, actually not even could, I think that would be good to test. And the best way to do that is something like Grid Runners, where it would be individual-based like puzzles, I guess, or like, you know, it just tests your knowledge of Minecraft, your efficiency, and something like that. I think it would be very valuable to have an event like this. I know people would argue that it you know, you should just stick to like PvP, parkour, and speedrunning, but I think it's definitely something that showcases skill and is very interesting to see like how different people, or how differently people will approach a situation, etc. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of an idea like this for a Minecraft minigames event. With esports in mind, like just testing the best of the best. Technically, you know, this isn't necessarily like what esports should look like, because I'm still convinced that this MCSR Ranked is the Minecraft esports, or at least what it should look like, because it tests like core Minecraft. It's not like a custom minigame. This is literally just Minecraft. So I think this is the best way to do a Minecraft esports. If you want to do a Minecraft minigames esport, this is a decent way to approach it. I mean, if anyone wants to take these ideas, go ahead. I'm not gonna make this, but if someone else wants to, feel free. Anyways, that is gonna be it for this video. Let me know who you would want to see play in something like this. I didn't really consider the players for a Minecraft esports event. I might make another video on that in the future, but who would you want to see in something like this? I know that there's a variety of people that you could pick from in modern Minecraft. You know, a lot of content creators who are really good, maybe some people who are known to be really good event players. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.